So tonight is the first night in Adventures in Experimentation, and we're making chicken curry. This is something that I've never made before. We have a few things that we prepped first. I made rice, because rice is a staple in my house, beforehand, because that takes the longest to cook, as well as boiled some chicken breasts and then shredded them, so they're in little pieces. I cleaned and chopped some carrots and some broccoli, and then I prepped the spices in our flavor base, which is going to be some red onions, some chili oil, and then this is a combination of yellow curry powder, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, and then as well as some chicken bouillon powder that we make. So we're going to start off with a couple cups of water into a frying pan, as well as our flavor bases here. So a red onion, our curry powder, and then just a little bit of the chili oil. You don't want too much because we don't want it spicy. I'm not a spicy person. So we're going to bring this over to the oven, or the stove rather, and put it on. The stove is on medium heat, and we're going to bring this up to a boil. Once the water and all of the spices and stuff fuse, then we're going to add the carrots and the broccoli. They're going to take longer to cook because they are not pre-cooked like the chicken is. So it's simmering now. All of the spices are blending. So now we're going to add the carrots and the broccoli. Get them in there. And throughout the cooking process, it's always good to do taste checks. That way you know if it's too much spice, not enough spice, or whatever. That's just a general rule of cooking. I'm going to get all of this in here and let it start cooking together. So it's been about 5 minutes since we put the carrots and the broccoli in, and the carrots are starting to get tender. Now we're going to add the chicken. Now remember, we boiled this earlier in salt water, and then we shredded it into small pieces after letting it cool, of course. So now be careful your pot or your pan is not too big. Now as you can see, there's not much juice left because we put 2 cups in and it's been boiled off and soaked into the carrots and stuff. This is a time where you can add more water if you need to. And if it dilutes the flavor too much, just add a little bit more of the curry powder. So the chicken is now heated through, and now we're going to make the curry part of it, which is that thickness to the sauce. What we have here is a slurry, and it's basically cold water and cornstarch. We're going to pour in a little bit at a time. I cleared a space here so that I can mix in directly with the sauce. And you mix it all together. As it heats up and the longer you let it cook, the thicker it will generally get. So we mix it a little bit here. You just add a little bit at a time, making sure you stir it together before you pour it in. You don't use all of it, you don't use all of it. No big deal. So you can see how it's already starting to thicken up, almost like a gravy. And that's kind of what we want.
Okay.
So the sauce has thickened up now. So it's created like a gravy almost. You can see how when I pour it, it's not just like liquid normally is. So we're going to plate it up and try it. So you know in a restaurant, when you come out and got a nice bowl shaped, you know, rice pot, that's what we're going to do just to make it pretty. So take a nice small bowl, fill her up, and then plop her on a plate, and you got restaurant style rice. broccoli down. So let's try it.